Hi guys, today I want to share my updated studio tour, outdoor studio. When I first showed you this space it was very new and I hadn't yet got hardly anything how I wanted it, and now I have, so I really want to share it. If you have watched my vlog channel you might have seen that I haven't been doing very much art out here. There's a particular period where I did no art out here. I'm beginning to get more into it. What's the matter, sweetie? It's his kennel too. He loves it in here. But it was always a space where it was still the things that art represents to me. So rest, relaxation, inspiration. I'll sit and read my books in here. And just generally that feeling of peace. So I still used it for the things I use for art, but now I'm beginning to use it more for art. So I just wanted to share with you. I'll put a link below to the original tour if you want to see before and after, and also to my studio inside if you want to see what my proper studio looks like. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so let's start over this side. I finally have a sofa, yay! I did have the beanbags in the last one. Now I have a sofa. It's called the Hobbit sofa because it's really small. It's a sofa bed. It's the smallest one I could find to fit in this space. The colour's coming up quite dark blue on here, but it is quite a nice turquoise blue, so it matches in with my other turquoisey bits and pieces. People have been asking me online when I've posted pictures where I've got this pretty throw thing here. It's from a company in the UK called British Home Stores, BHS. I'm assuming because of the name it's just in this country, but you know, you never know, so have a look. And you could probably see here, well, first of all, this is a sofa bed, so I can pull it out to create on the floor if I want to, which is what I wanted with the beanbags that I brought, but I didn't like them very much, so I've given them away. And you can probably see here though, because it's foam, and foam kind of isn't the nicest to sit on, I've bought like an outside cushion that goes on outside furniture, like a two-seater cushion. So you could probably see there's kind of like a little dip here where that other cushion is. And now because I've got that, I don't need to disturb the whole furniture. I can just whip that out, put that on the floor and create on the floor on that double cushion thing, which is awesome. I like the idea of still pulling this out though on days when that's what I feel like doing, is just creating on the floor. So the IKEA frame, I don't know if that was there before, IKEA frame, just finished that piece of artwork in here. I actually did this this face with the pastels that I have in here that I'll show you, which are like kiddie pastels. I was having a really bad day, I didn't feel very well, so I kind of like how she came out of nothing, and so I put a Picasso quote with her. As I should show you up here. My lanterns, they have in them little LED candles, and then this is a flower light to put on in the evening for when I'm reading. And up here are little bits and pieces that I've been sent by a friend to put up there, and I've recently put up this cut out paper cut style bunting up there just because I wanted something to go around the whole way. Okay, so this has been the real change in here. What I used to have in here was the IKEA cart, and I used this space under here, although I had a vintage suitcase with papers in it. Because the vintage suitcase with the papers are now here, because those have all gone, that has got the rest of my supplies kind of really nicely organised, so I'll show you that in a minute. This unit here, because I know I'm going to get asked, I've just looked it up for you, is called Ginger Adams Crafting Armoire, or something similar to that. It is designed to go on the back of a door, and so it has a bracket which fits on the top. This closes up, the bracket fits on the top, and this has been in my indoor studio for months, since February. And I couldn't, you know, because anything that's kind of space saving I jump on straight away because I don't have much space, but it's been in my indoor studio for months and I could not figure out what to do with it. I'd take stuff out, put the stuff in, and I realised the reason why I couldn't put anything, because I like things to be organised, although it doesn't look like it, I do like things to be organised. So because it's got a bit of space for, you know, papers, and it has a bit of space. That there is actually a space for washi tapes, and it has a bit of pockets for punches, say, or things like that, and then little things for knickknacks. It's too varied for me to put things in there that are of the same kind of category to organise. So I suddenly realised, hold on, outside it can be like my full crafting, you know, my full crafty studio. So I don't know why it took so long for it to click in my head, but it did. So I've attached it to the wall, just this one, so that if I did want to close it up I could do, but I would have to move those paints out because they kind of stick out. But putting them in that way has meant that I've actually managed to put in twice as many paints as what I would have got in if I'd just lined them up, you know, the way that these are up here. So up here I have, this was kind of an altar wishing board. It's kind of got three sides like an altar piece of artwork, which was on my table down there, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I've got crystals up here, because if you follow me then you know I like crystals. On here is, this is from a friend. This is from my Inspiration Station class. She made this and she sent it to me, so this is in here because it's got happy vibes. Just a little pot of acrylic because I like the way that that looks. Or I'd have to find more space in here for it, and there isn't much, so I'll just stick it there. A candle that a friend bought me with some old bracelets on it. And then again, I might not run through all of the supplies in here because it's the same supplies that I had in here before. It's all the stuff that is duplicated in my studio. So I have this distress ink in there, I have this distress stain rather in there, so I'll just pull this one out. Have another one of these dabbers in there, so I pulled that one out. Or things that are decanted that I use a lot. So I might not run through everything because it's just extra stuff, or my least used supplies. As I said in the last video, it's kind of, if I buy a bigger tin of a certain pastels and I put the other tin in here, it's just kind of like that. So I've got supplies in here, but I don't have everything in here, but I have more than enough, to play with. So some water solubles, the woody ones, and then the gelatos, some glitter glues, my pocket of glues, all the different kinds because I don't know what I'm going to make. Then different brushes, painting utensils, some more kind of glitter glues or pearlescent kind of things. Then stamps, some more washi tape, some crystals, and then my Bitty and Bobby kind of things in there. And again, the Bitty and Bobby drawers, embellishments, kind of handmade embellishments, so it's my handmade embellishment drawer. And there's some more handmade embellishments in that drawer as well. Clay tiles and things I've made, ink pads, things like that, ribbons, metal things, stuff like that. And obviously the crafting armoire doesn't come with these little bits of paper on them. I just up a little to match the rest of this space, just with some scrap papers. And then on here it goes 12 by 12 papers, 12 by 12 papers, 12 by 12 papers. Then it goes scrap papers, and I've got all of these kind of little wallets, paper pads, these little wallets to keep them organised so I can get to them. I can just whip one of these out. These are my collage sheets. I can just whip that out and take that with me, down on the floor when I'm creating, and I'm happy. There's if all the things were to go in there individually, obviously I won't be able to get to what I want, so they need to be organised like that. Magazines and newspaper things, journal spots and die cuts. So again, I've got a section for journal spots and then another one for die cuts, stickers and rub-ons, and then stencils. Here are my 4 journals that I use outside. All my, tools. So I've got kind of like one of everything that's really needed: ruler, bone folder, awl, some scissors. Then I've got some black pens, pencils, other kind of pens, craft paints. Okay, so that's my crafting armoire. As I said, it's not spectacular. It's the same kind of supplies that I had in there before. The rest of them are under this table. This table, you could probably see like this, is kind of set up as a meditation table. It changes quite a bit. You see there's some books there. I just put the books there because I like the look of them there, not because they're the current ones that I'm reading. But I do have some books down here which I'll show you in a minute. But I have my poof here. My poof, either when I'm sitting on here, I can have my laptop on there and I can be doing some artwork or whatever on here, but it's also kind of a meditation cushion if I want to move it over here, or if I just want to sit on it here creating, as well as the other cushion. I love how multi-changeable this space is. This space is quite big as well, so I can be doing yoga here, and I'll have the dog kind of like sniffing my ears as I'm doing it. He loves this place, by the way. We think it's his kennel. Or he thinks it's his kennel, rather. This crochet that's on here is just to protect the top, because this is metal and it just gets scratched. But I've put this, not my favourite crochet on here, because my favourite crochet, which you probably recognise, is over here. I don't want to get paint on it, so I stick that on there. Plus, this kind of hangs down as well to hide the other supplies that are under here. So it's really nicely organised under here. I've got my most used things here, my wipes, my kitchen towel, I've got a fixative, and then I've got my tape glues. And this is just a utilities painting things, junk basically, but things to paint with, make marks with. This was in here along with my stamps, my stencils, my brushes, my everything in here in the old cart thing, and I just couldn't see anything. It was so uninspiring. I do love that cart and it's working wonders inside, so to bring this out here and to put the cart in there has really altered how useful my two spaces are. So sometimes you really have to, do a lot of work, because it wasn't easy pulling this out or putting that in and changing stuff around. But it's really maximised the functionality of all of my units of furniture in my spaces. So I love the cart, but it was very uninspiring out here because I had to shove all of these supplies in there and I couldn't see what I had. Now I can see, I can touch it, I can play, I can just be sitting here and I'll go, there's just a little bit of something there I want to play with. And it's great. So my alcohol pen's in this thing here, some water, and I usually have a cup out here, though it's inside at the minute, because obviously I don't have a water supply here. And then these are all the same kind of things that I had in the cart, so I might not go through it all again, but they're all my least used supplies, or things that I have, the cheaper version, like these pastels are the cheap versions I was mentioning, that I made that painting with. So, they're all things just to play around with, really make marks with, just create more freely than, creating something for the purpose of it. Those two boxes there are stuff for my kind of space here as I want to change it. So sometimes I'll have my computer on here, I'll sit and I'll do something on the computer on here, sometimes I'll put artwork on here and I'll create artwork on here, sometimes I use it as a meditation table, and that's got other things in there, like it has candles and, thingy diffusers, oil diffusers and things like that in there. Little fan because it's super hot. I'm melting right now, but I didn't want to put that on because I don't want it to be noisy. My IKEA lamp, which does all of the light, which is awesome in here. More crystals, my wishing tree, which I have a tutorial on, some coasters, and then some artwork. All the artwork is kind of old artwork. This one here I recently redid on one of my monthly challenges on my Ningside Journal workshop. So she's one of my first pieces of art that I recently redid. So it's kind of nice to look here, except for that one. I did that in the class inspiration station, but still kind of old now, really. So yeah, the pom-poms. I'll take down the blind now. These are all the same things. I don't need to tell you about all this stuff. There's my books section in there, so I've got some nice books. For when I just don't want to do anything else, I have a monitor, and then I have some DVDs when I don't want to do anything else. I will take the blinds down now so I can show you the garlands and things and how lovely they are. Okay, so it's a bit darker because I just took these blinds down so that I could show you up here. I didn't want to really broadcast the street and things. But these are really cheap garlands for dressing your table for things. And they go all the way around because I wanted something to really go and kind of join up this whole space. And likewise, the little things that you can see up here are little things. Well, actually I made that little thing, but the little things I've been given. These little lanterns are solar lights, so they come on and shine bright blue in the evening. And then I've got Harry, Ron, Hermione over there. And that's about it, I think. yeah, pretty much. The pom-poms, I have a tutorial for making pom-pom garlands on my other vlog channel. Give you one last look. Isn't that poof pretty? I love my poof. I have a lap tray as well behind there, and I have my hairdryer behind there, kind of out the way and bits and pieces like that. I've got electrics all around the back of the sofa, so all the ugly things are out of the way, yeah. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed my updated studio tour. Much love, everybody. Bye bye. Rapid eye movement. Rapid eye movement.